Following an offseason that saw us really attack and bring in a lot of key players at areas of possible, even desperate need, we filled out a very promising roster, which will hopefully see us have our first winning season so far this series. Though as we begin this episode, we need to make a trade because we have just one extra person over our 53-man roster, and I don't need to carry in 3 possible starting quarterbacks. So we have some options to where we're going to be sending CJ Stroud. I'm moving on from him. He did not have a good season. And we have options. Minnesota Vikings have a second-year quarterback who's a normal dev, 73. They also have Baker Mayfield, who's going to be that mentor at that spot. The Saints are another team that could use another quarterback here. It's also number 1 on both the Vikings and the Saints board. They do have a rookie in Carroll Holt, who's a 71 hit in dev. And because of that, I'm not favoring the Saints. But we do have a third option, the Jets, another team with quarterback on the top of their list, and their best guy right now is Jordan Love, a normal dev. They have Sam Darnold, normal dev, and Tyler Huntley, a normal dev. So these are all veteran quarterbacks at this point who just haven't really panned out. So I'm interested to see if we could work out a deal with either the Jets or the Vikings, see who's going to give us the better offers. And unfortunately, you can't just look for what a particular team would want to do. So taking a look at just what both teams have. It looks like the Jets have all their normal picks, though their picks are going to be later on in the round, most likely. The Vikings, however, they're going to be a good bit higher because they never seem to do well in Madden franchises. Now, I can't quite remember what we traded for to get Stroud. I want to say, or traded with to get Stroud. I want to say it was like some 3s, some 4s or something. And he just hasn't done very well. He obviously is a decent overall, but he just hasn't played all too well, even prior to coming to our team. So I'm not going to try to overly do this one. But we are going to ask for a current 3, a current 6, and then maybe a future 5. I feel like that would be fairly reasonable here for Stroud, maybe even slightly still a little bit too much. We'll put out this offer, see if the Minnesota Vikings like it, and they do. So CJ Stroud is on to his 3rd team in his 4th season. Now, before we jump into actually showing what the new starting lineup is going to be and getting into week 1 versus our rival, the Seahawks, I'm going to bring up the preseason stats here so you guys can get a general look at kind of what happened. I simmed through all of these games, and I'll say there was a couple key things to note. We did see the rookie receiver that we drafted actually lead the team, which is pretty good to see. As for the edge guys, the rookie ones that we drafted, they didn't really show up all too big. We didn't have very many sacks, didn't have all too many tackles for a loss, though we did get a forced fumble by Flowers. And now here is the opening day starting lineup. Obviously, we're going to have our rookie at quarterback in Caleb Harris. Bo Harold is now the primary backup. Potentially, if we end up finding a different backup, we can maybe trade Bo Harold later on. Akers is still going to be the primary running back. Boley's going to be running back too. Williams, I do want him to at least get some carries. He proved he should be out there at least a little bit in last year's Week 18. Starting receivers looking the same. Palmer on the left, Jarrett on the right. Next up will be Terrence Marshall. And then we're going to get into the group of young receivers that just have not been able to show anything or are a rookie. So Ayers, Red, and Hill are all hopefully going to see some rotation out at the outside receiver spots. Tommy Tremble still our tight end 1 with Parkinson tight end 2. Dickinson is moving over to right tackle this year. We'll see how he does there. Everyone else, same starters as last year. Backups are going to be Moreland and then Spain. Now for the defensive side, we're going to see hopefully a whole lot of rotation for this defensive line. In the base 4-3 packages, we are going to have Kevin Flowers start at left end and Johnny Smith at right end. The DTs are going to be Nick Bell and Luke Peak, and we're going to get Michael Pierce probably rotating in there. If either of these guys are struggling, Pierce is going to come in. We also have the rookie in Sheldon, who's possibly going to see some playing time in that rotation. Cornerbacks are the same. Debo on the outside did keep his superstar, which is great. And Rice, I feel like, did he go down? I feel like he might have had at least a star at some point. Although I'm not seeing it be taken away. So apparently he was actually just a normal. Felt like it was the star. Probably just thinking of someone else, but either way, he's going to be on the outside yet again. He had a fantastic sophomore campaign, was leading us in interceptions. St. Juste will be the primary backup for the outside. Conley we're going to keep with the slot, though he did also do pretty well playing on the outside in week 18, so he can fill out that role. Daxton Hill, the new strong safety. Swain, still the starter at free safety. Kenyon Smith are going to be a backup for strong, and then Taylor for free. Linebackers stay the exact same, with Chenal being the primary backup. We also have Ross, who did return, and we brought in another, I want to say it's a new backup in Hart. We'll see how well he does. As for the specialist, talked about Conley going to be the slot corner for us. Now for the defensive line, we're going to try this to start out with. Basley's going to be the primary rush left end. Nick Bell and Johnny Smith are going to be the rush DTs. See how well that works. And Flowers is going to be the rush right end. If any of these outside guys are not performing well and we're not seeing much from Smith, Smith can go back to the outside where he was at last year, and we could bring in Luke Peak back down the middle and maybe just play the hot hand between Basley and Flowers. Either way, we're going to try to get them out early and often. Sub-backers staying the exact same. Running backs the exact same. Slot receiver going to be Puka Nacua. Marshall backing him up. And then Hill does have some ability at slot, so we might see him out there a little bit as well. Special teams, pretty much staying the same, though we do have a new kick returner in red, and Hill's going to be handling the punt returns. As for the practice squad, we have some guys who we drafted, and we have some guys who we had picked up. Hannon was on the practice squad last year. Williams was injured all of last year, so he's on the practice squad. Goodson, the tight end we drafted with our last pick, he is on the practice squad. Same with Moran, was a guy we drafted. I want to say we signed Meredith. He's on here this year. Woodyard did regress down to the practice squad this year just due to the higher depth that we've had. And then just a few other guys across the board here. Grant, one of the DTs, he was an end. We ended up moving him to DT. He's on the practice squad, though. Could get picked up. He is a 68 overall. Hancock, very similarly to Woodyard, also regressed to the practice squad this year. But that is our starting lineup for week 1. And it's a pretty big week 1 as we start off this season with back-to-back division rivalries. Starting off with the Seattle Seahawks, we won our last matchup with a close win, upsetting them. They were 11-2 at that point. They still went on to not only win the division, but they actually were the number 1 seed going into the playoffs, though they lost in the divisional round. So they're probably heated. We're looking for a good start to our season and just a good season. With our new quarterback and a whole lot of other new players, excited to get this one underway, so let's do just that. Be the rookie quarterback out first as we are underway. Season 4, I think at this point already. Season 4, crazy how quickly this series has gone. But we are underway with yet again a new starting quarterback, Caleb Harris, the rookie out of Wyoming. I have essentially dubbed him the Josh Allen 2.0, hopefully just with less turnovers, knock on wood. And just some good play all around. As we start off with a run by Akers, we pick up 2. Really outside of the quarterback spot, not really any new starters. We do have a new fullback in Pryor. As we're going to start off with a little bit of some RPO, get it to the outside with the first throw from the rookie, and it's a very secure tackle with another short gain. But we had a whole lot of draft picks in this last draft, and we have at least 3 of them starting today. Hopefully some others get some playing time as we have 3rd and 5. Needing to pick up a first down here. It's all covered. Trying to roll out, finds someone, dumps it off for Tremble, breaks 1, but not gonna break that second one. Hall picks him up, puts him down. 4th and 3 at the 30. Probably should punt. We aren't the only one with a new quarterback in division. The Seahawks have a new guy under center, and it is Pickett. He's a 78 overall at this point, and he hasn't really done anything all too fancy. Though we know really who this offense runs through, and that is going to be Walker the third. Right down the middle, he picks up 5 on play 1, providing a little bit of pressure there, but it's a throw that gets out to DK, so it's a bit behind as we already get pressure with Basley. Or actually, check that, Flowers. I'm probably going to do that a good bit to start off with as I learn which side they go on again with all the rotation as well, as that one's just over Conley's head. First tackle at least for Daxton Hill as Smith and Jigba with the first down to midfield. And at least one positive is that through the last 2 plays, we were getting some pressure there in on Pickett, which we did not see a whole bunch of last year. As they go Walker, who trucks through Murphy Jr. and nearly broke away from the bunch. Walker's definitely the primary running back in this division, though. We have a guy who might be able to take that crown at some point as he spreads to the outside. A nice tackle there from Solomon. And in a pretty disappointing fashion, last year when we sent the double A-gap blitz, it rarely ever did anything. We have a whole lot more speed now, as there's a great run stop from Basley. Shook off 2 blockers, got the stop at the line. And if you're going to interrupt what I was saying, might as well be for a good play. Both of these new edge guys are a balanced duo. They have some block shedding, they have some pass rush, though we needed a little bit tighter coverage there. DK with the first down to the 17. Seattle really has always done well against us in beating our zones whenever we do actually play zone, which honestly isn't all too often. They also do a fantastic job of just holding on to the ball. Don't know how Disley did not drop that one, but he didn't. And now it's 1st and goal down at the 6. They bring out the heavy set, so do we. As they hand it off, Walker trying to find a gap and does squeeze through for a short gain. Of course, though, with Pickett, have to just be careful that he doesn't end up trying to squeeze through himself, but no, it's the fullback instead who found multiple angles to get into the end zone there, and the Seahawks take a lead. And as we come out to start our second offensive drive, we at least saw that Harris try to make something happen on 3rd down last time, just quite wasn't able to get the play going. We need to see, obviously, just a whole lot more from this offense. Some big plays would definitely be nice as we start with 5 to Jarrett. And again, as mentioned, well, talking about the roster, we have 3 running backs we could definitely use this year, and we're definitely going to try to do that as Diggs puts a big hit in there on Akers. And that leads to a great opportunity to bring out the rookie in Boley. Though we have that RPO called up and they're off coverage on Palmer, so let's get the easy first down here, who does not again shake the tackle of Tariq Woolen. Very secure tackler. Or actually, as we hit the end of the quarter, 21 is not Tariq Woolen, it's Witherspoon. Either way, very good tackler. As we're going to try to get the halfback screen out here just in time to not have anything really happen because it was too congested. So on 2nd and 10, let's shake it up a little bit here. Wanted to go with the jet sweep, but they do march down press. So we're going to make an audible instead, go with some play action, maybe try to hit a deep route instead. See if we have anything open. Not really. We have Nakua, but not going to get that ball anywhere close. Throw out of a sack in a dangerous area. So on 3rd and 10, we will spread wide. We got 3 out to the right, 1 to the left. We're looking for that halfback screen. But no time to get it off once again. Immediate rush down the middle line. Has to at least hold up a little bit better than that. Be another drive that goes nowhere. And here is where we need our defense to get that stop here for us. Buy some time to get this offense moving. I got 2 receivers off to the right, 2 tight ends to the left-hand side. We bring the blitz down the middle as it's tossed up over the top of Rice, and DK is gone. No one's catching him, and the defense does not buy us time. It's a 1-play touchdown. So we need to answer back and answer back big. Down 14-0 here, still towards the beginning of this second quarter. Starting a little bit of some play action. Going across the middle, it's overthrown, and that one is Tariq Woolen. An interception in his debut game for Caleb Harris, and it's a pick 6. Just too much air as he intended to get that one to Palmer. Needed to be a little bit lower, which was the opposite problem we really had last year. So right now, Seahawks feeling pretty comfortable in this one. Meanwhile, we're, again, struggling. That's kind of been the synopsis of this series. Trying to step up, find somewhere. Dickinson lets the sack hit him in his face. Definitely not the start we were hoping for, nor really expecting. With second and long here. They're sitting everyone back. We get it out to the rookie Pryor at fullback, who's going to at least near half the deficit that we had there, leaving 3rd and 8. And we'll run at least a different formation than we've had so far. A tight set here. A lot of crossing routes, trying to make sure we get someone open. As Caleb tries to step up, he only gets one. We're back at the 28. Probably need to punt once again. Offense has continued to go nowhere. Definitely haven't even gotten to midfield yet. Meanwhile, DK already probably has more yards than our entire offense. As Pickett looks to step up here, avoids Murray Jr., sliding down with a first down up at the 34. Need someone to make the plays here. It's a pistol set, slant, DK, another first down, about another 15 added to his total. He has a majority, if not nearly all, of their passing yards. And right now he is primarily being matched up over on the left-hand side against Rice, who doesn't have the best of the press coverage, but has some of our better coverage ratings, as there's a great tackle again by Solomon. He's a linebacker who does have some ability in coverage, but when we originally drafted him, it was because of his run-stopping ability. As they're going to go deep, checking a Debo, who nearly gets the pick, at least breaks it up. Gallup not able to corral it. And on 3rd and 10 here, just past the 50, we need the stop. We send the extra blitz. Pickett tried to scramble, but through the blocker. Graham gets the sack. And it was an awful punt for him. We start up at the 38. Hopefully some momentum now building on our side. We just need this offense to go somewhere. As we don't get that one to Nakua, Diggs swats it away. All right, now it feels like what we have to do is make sure we're not falling behind the chain. So on 2nd and 10, we got to gain some yards here. Down the middle, handed off Akers, who weaves, nearly picking up the first down. 3rd and 1. And from here, I want to go with Boldy. He has that trucking ability, plus plenty of speed as well, as he gets stood up, but does manage the first. It's not going to be a record-setting first career catch by any means, but could at least make some plays happen here as we're getting close to the 2-minute warning. Get back to the line here quickly. A little bit of some play action. Try to open up the field, downfield, not really. We'll get this one out to Pryor, who will get a few yards and out of bounds. 2-minute warning. He's not really supposed to be a receiving target here for us, but he already has a couple catches on the day. So we're going to send him deep as we roll out here. We got Tommy Tremble, and apparently we still have a problem with throwing on the run. Harris has good ratings for it, but that's been a problem we've seen with Madden this year. We got a 3rd and 5 here. Trying to roll. Not much to go. He's cutting back to the other side, but doesn't have anywhere to get rid of it. And he holds it. 4th and 30, we got a punt. Just trying to make too much happen there. But either way, we weren't getting it. Coverage was fantastic. This Seahawks team is really, really good as we are struggling to tackle them. They're getting yards after the catch, yards after first contact consistently. And while we did see some pass rush to open up the game, it's been a little while since we've gotten anyone in the face of Pickett. Obviously, we did get the sack to end the last drive, but that's not a consistent form as we at least get Walker out of bounds there, leave 2nd and 3. And we could definitely use a little bit more here from the defense. A turnover would be fantastic, or a sack down the middle from the blitz. Give that one to Murray Jr. And on top of that, we call a timeout. 3rd and 9 here. We're under a minute left, but we need some points to end this half. So let's try to see if we can buy our offense some time to do just that. As they load up deep, no, yes, it's dropped by Walker. We get lucky there, they'll have to punt. Well, it's definitely not been a career start to go to the history books, at least of yet. Can we see Harris turn this thing around? Get this offense moving? Not if we get sacked consistently. So clearly this line having issues already early on. We can make a change. We have an extra guy, but we need something to open up here, and it's really just not. This Seahawks defense flying around. They are probably our biggest opponent in our own division here. They are flying high. They're flying around, that's for sure. As we step up here, not enough time to get rid of it there at the end. We had an opening, but as we hit halftime, it is quite funny. We started this series with the 49ers as the team we were chasing, the team to beat. But now it really is the Seahawks as we head into halftime here with -8 passing yards. That's more so, I feel like, to do with the lack of separation we're getting from receivers, and the offensive line is definitely not holding up. But let's see how other teams are doing to open up, and it's a big showing from the 49ers. They win 42-14 over the Eagles. Matt Corral, their quarterback, goes 272 and 4 touchdowns. Impressive after the move down from Brock Purdy. Taking a look down at the Dolphins, hosting the Packers, 17-7 Packers up with said Brock Purdy, who started 6 of 10, 60 yards and a touchdown. Not flashy by any means. And the only other divisional game we haven't seen, Cardinals lose to the Cowboys, 27-20. Kyler Murray, and surprisingly, Marquise Brown was their leading receiver and not Jalen Waddle. And as we get our second half underway, it is the Seahawks out on offense. So defense is going to have to come through early on here. Once again, needing to just buy some time, as there's at least a bad throw. It'll be 2nd and 10. I don't think we really had much of any pass rush on that one, but I'm fine with bad throws. As they spread empty here, gonna have 3 over to the right-hand side. A quick throw going out to Disley, their tight end, who takes a couple hits but holds on to it. Gain of 7. And on 3rd and short, they come out with a bunch to the left-hand side. We're gonna send a blitz, but not the normal double A-gap blitz. And once again, a bad throw, though pressure arriving from Johnny Smith. Defense continues to hold since their earlier mistakes. But it's our offense who have not been able to learn from their mistakes. As we start 1st and 10, we're rolling out. We have Tommy Tremble, and it's another ball that's not even close. I'm honestly about out of ideas of how to fix this game and make it to where you could actually throw a ball. As we at least find Akers there, make it a catch for 4. But Madden 24 has definitely been a problem for us, as it's 3rd and 6, needing to pick up a 1st down. Here we go, Akers, who bursts through the gap, and finally, we cross midfield. So we'll get back to the line quickly here. Trying to see if we can capitalize. They're going to bring down the safeties. I mean, they're playing box guys here. They're just getting quick pass rush, so we're not able to develop a lot of these routes. As we have our guy coming across, and it's another bad throw. Another interception. And it looks like it's going to be another pick 6 unless Akers can get there, and that is a no. Lucas Van Ness is injured for the Seahawks on the play, but it's another pick 6. Well, what can we do to salvage the beginning of our Season 4 here? As we're going to start with Boley, trying to get him to the outside. He has some speed as well as some power. So he's going to pick up 8. And we just got to find whatever we can to get some yards, get this offense moving, a little bit of some momentum as Boley sprints to the outside. A definite late hit from the guy who just had the pick 6, but no flag thrown. Needing to build some momentum, some confidence even. Just some simple confidence I feel like could go a long way with this team as we finally get that pass out to Tommy Tremble. Back out of bounds, gain of 7. Do we just have to change how we've been running this offense entirely? Maybe so. As we try to get the stretch to the outside, it's a great job there from Brooks. Read that the whole way. 3rd and 2. Well, let's go back to what was working. Some power sets here with Boley, though. RPO dialed up. They're playing off coverage. We'll get it out to Jarrett, who does not make actually Tariq Woolen miss, but does pick up the 1st down. And with that, back to the line quickly once again. They're going to bring down instead Prez, sending Diggs deep. A little bit of some roll here. See if we can find anyone downfield. There's not much. Harris instead going to scramble, and he picks up just 3. But that's not a loss of any yards, so that's good. And on 2nd and 7, we're going to bring out Williams. He did change his number. I want to say he was wearing 16 last year. He's over to 21 now as he's trying to break through. A little push there at the end from McAllister maybe gets us an extra yard. Once again, we'll get back to the line here quickly, though. They are stacking the middle. Need maybe a quick release to the outside. Nakua just on a simple stop, or actually now they're going to change it up a little bit. Right when I try to design a play to help get us the first down, we'll go across the middle here instead. It's Marshall down to around the 25. Once again, let's get back to the line here quickly. We're down multiple scores, so we need multiple scores. We do have the rookie Hill out at the inside slot to the right-hand side. See if that opens up at all. Or Harris is going to step up, hold on to it through the hit, and he will. Gain of 7. And from there, we'll let the rotations happen. With a 2nd and 3, we got some play action, some guys going downfield, trying to open things up. It's going to be Akers out of the backfield, but swatted away. So on 3rd and 3, we will spread wide again. Got 3 over to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. We're handing this one off for Williams. It's a great block from the slot receiver. We're down to the 8. And let's see if we could work our way into the end zone there. Essentially trying to set up pretty much some pick plays over on this left-hand side. Marshall on the zig, everyone else gonna run some slants, though it does not quite open up for us. It's great coverage, great read there from Diggs. We just gotta be changing up whatever we're doing as often as we can. We'll go with the RPO here, though, handing it off Boley, going right down and close to the end zone. They say at the 3, I feel like that was closer to the 2. But on 3rd and goal here, just outside the 4th quarter. It's really 2 down territory, though, for us. If we could get some blocks here. Akers had a little bit of a lane. The spin does not harm us. He does get into the end zone, and we finally get some points in week 1. We're going to need a whole lot more scores, though, in the 4th. And now that we finally have some momentum, can the defense carry it, build upon it even? Force a turnover would be huge as they skid it out to Walker, who's going to take a couple hits there at the end. Hill and Adebo get the stop. Though, giving up a gain of 7 on 1st down isn't fantastic by any means, as we maybe have time for one more play here before the end of the 3rd, and we do get the stop. 3rd and 1. That'll be for after we get to that 4th quarter. We're down 3 touchdowns. Defense has only given up 2 touchdowns today, but so has the offense. All right, now what matters is right down the middle here. We send the extra man, but Daxton Hill misses, and Walker is sprinting away. Why do we keep giving up these big plays when we should be making the plays? Once again, we are down 4 touchdowns, and we have less than 8 minutes to try to tie. And our offense has not moved very easily today. As we step up here, just avoid any lost yardage. That's about as good of a play as we've really had in the passing game. We're going to have to switch around some plays here a little bit. See what opens up. Nakua, that not even going to get close to getting that one. Bad throw. And I feel like we still might need to do a little bit more work with the slider sets just to get the quarterback play to anything, really, as no time to throw in on top of it. Caleb Harris a little bit slow to get up. Hopefully nothing big, but he's going to head to the locker room to get whatever it is sorted. So on 4th and 13, out comes Bo Harrell. We're back at the 22. I mean, why not at this point? It can't really cost us much, as we do have Palmer, but it's just not quite thrown hard enough, well enough. Use your own adjective. It's another interception, this one for Witherspoon. And we have some unfortunate news from that locker room. It is broken ribs for our rookie quarterback, meaning he's gonna be missing some time. He's just been out there for 1 game and he's got beaten up throughout. Potentially there was an earlier injury to those ribs, and that was why some of the throws were so bad. Hard to tell exactly. We can only speculate. But either way, it has not been a great opening to Season 4, and we luckily don't give up a touchdown there. Well, the Seahawks are pretty much the length of a football away from tacking on some more points here as they go to Walker with tremendous blocking up front, and he walks in, making this now a 5-touchdown lead. So with the remainder of this game, I kind of want to give it to Boley. I want to see what he's all about. Can he be that guy for us going forward? So let's just hand him the rock and see what he can do. Obviously, gonna need to see some good blocking for him, but if he could do well without some of that good blocking, all the better, as already it's some of our better plays as he nearly broke away there. And if this little experiment at the end here works out well, we just might have to switch to a run-first offense and just do that about 80% of the plays, as Boley down the middle picks up 4. Right now, if I'm being honest, I feel like we have a broken save. That is honestly my feeling right now, because we cannot pass the ball. Great tackle there from 60. But passing has just felt broken for pretty much this whole save. We obviously have had the state-only challenges, and those have not felt as broken. We've actually had some pretty good passing teams in those saves, but not this one. Now, on top of Boley, obviously we just saw Williams get the first down. We're going to see a little bit of him as well late on here, especially whenever Boley needs a little bit of a breather, and these two are running pretty well. So that might be our offense moving forward this season as we hit the 2-minute warning. Don't even look at the score. We'll just skip it. Can't blame it all on the defense, but they definitely didn't have their best game. But no, this offense has been a killer force throughout this series, and they definitely strike again as Boley tries to stretch it, but cannot get around Jalen Phillips. Potentially trying to get a little bit of some revenge after I said I didn't think he was going to be good enough for our team. He's now with one of our biggest rivals, and he's having himself a pretty good game, as we just can't get any throws out to these fullbacks on the run. 4th and 3, though, we're still going for it. And they are playing some off coverage, so we could go out to Jarrett on the RPO. It's worked out pretty well for us so far, and it'll work out pretty well for us once again. As we'll get back to the line quickly here, we're going to rock with the same exact play, though I want to go Boley's way this time. With some decent blocking in front of him, stretches it to the outside, tried to lower the shoulder there, was getting the push, but not quite good enough. Let's call a timeout, because we got 41 seconds left. And they're definitely covering deep, shading to that left side of the field here. So let's just make a change. Let's try to get some one-on-one Jarrett towards the end zone, see if Bo Harrell can give him a good ball. As it is going to be that one-on-one, toss it up for the big man, and neither of the guys over there got anywhere close to it. So the sentiment remains the same. I think passing in this save is broken. As we hand this one off, Boley with a good juke. Not the first down, 4th and 1. Let's call a timeout. And they are very much heavily shading one side where we would be running. So once again, Jarrett get the first down here for us, not breaking away, but we'll call our last timeout there. Just want one more touchdown before we leave this game. Give something for this home crowd that kind of shows up every game, as we got Jarrett nearly jumped by Tyreek Woolen. Maybe instead we could find Nakua on a little bit of a switch to the outside. He's wide open, and there we go. That is how we end week 1. It's a blowout loss, but we feel better whenever Nakua gets his touchdown. Though, can't quite feel too much better considering how the rest of that game went. It was a really bad showing. Passing game was one of the worst we've seen from this series. There was a patch going into this game, and it seems to have very much messed with things. So we might once again have to start tweaking some sliders. But those testings are going to have to be done without Caleb Harris, who's going to be missing the next 4 games, as I have not simmed to the next week yet. So that is big. He was obviously supposed to be our Josh Allen 2.0. I guess the interceptions match, but he's going to be missing some key time early on here, which means we're going to have to make some sort of move for a backup quarterback. Obviously, we had started this episode trading away CJ Stroud. So it's Bo Harrell and this running game moving forward. And the next one will be against the Arizona Cardinals, a team we have struggled against throughout the entirety of this series. They've probably been the one that's given us the most trouble, not even the Seahawks or the 49ers, both of which did win week 1. Cardinals did lose, so both of us, again, at the bottom. This is pretty much the standings that we've seen nearly every single season. 49ers and Seahawks sometimes switch, but we've got to sort things out. I'm going to be doing a little bit of some research, see if we can find out a way to fix what seems to be, as mentioned, a broken slider set, a broken game, really. We are using the MAT 10. I've made a couple different tweaks, but It's the base quarterback accuracy for the user, and what we're seeing does not replicate at all what the ratings are for the players. So we'll probably start again by playing around with that quarterback accuracy slider. We also need our receivers to get open. They weren't getting open very much in this game, but that I feel like is more true to the Seahawks defense. They have some fantastic players there, and we don't really have top-end guys at receiver. We're going to meet one of the guys I wanted to bring in Jalen Waddle next time. So we'll see if that was just a one-game fluke against a really good team, or if that's just going to be a consistent problem and try to fix it where we can. So if you're interested in sticking around and seeing if we can fix this broken save, because I'm sure by now we are on the hottest seat possible, make sure you do stick around. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the subscription button, and definitely tap the bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday with the states only challenge that we referenced earlier, currently the Southwest. And that one is every Wednesday and Saturday. So you guys got a whole bunch of videos coming at you every single week, plus the shorts highlighting all the things happening within these episodes. So plenty of content coming your way. Hope you stick around. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. So hopefully we hit that soon, and hopefully we hit some passes soon. We'll see next time. Bye.